This first one is dear to my heart, and it's rather short. It's called Dear Vaccine. Spread your juices into the world's veins. Convince those that believe they're getting a computer chip lodged into their brains from Bill Gates that it is still better to be alive than dead and prosper less in these overwhelming times. Thank you. The next poem I'm going to do here was published last fall in San Antonio's Voices de la Luna, and it's also dear to my heart, and this is called Education. Let us no longer build, but dismantle how they learn. Throw away, discard pedagogy. You may have thought, wrongly, wise. A good tool to use that is no longer important. Then strip piece by piece apart. Spread them out, covering your desk. Then dispel each component and let them drift off your palette to slip into gloom. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yay, Brother Juan's here. You're all cool. All right, and then next one, and because that you said that, Robin, I guess I'm going to read this poem too, just to, I'm always nervous to read this in town, but damn well better do. It's also too, is like Alan was talking about that hopefully what it's going to be like when you retire. Well, I'm retiring May 31st. So I don't really care. Thank you. Corpus Christi. Booze laden, you flock maskless to your plastic-strewn fecal tides, awaiting the resurrection or erection while crucifying your land corpse. Your clique-like benzene seepage flaring stacks of refinery desolation row spread like COVID-19 around the bay to wink a multitude of Baradur. Steel pipe plants shed black dust, transforming Portland into Pompeii. Your croplands, floodplains, now saturated DDT and Roundup converted track housing. Your 50-year-old bridge you demand unworkable. For bigger cash-bound zebra muscle tankers cannot reach your pipeline wells. Port commissioner hires proven contract disaster. Floridian footbridge collapse kills 6. Idea blooms like your illiteracy and teenage pregnancy rates. A floating fuel dock at Bay's mouth. We guarantee no spillages. Clean as a whistle. Cancerous, you watch loggerheads and green turtles bobbing empty shells that guide ships through oleaginous surf. The latest commission brainstorm, desalination. Desal plant on Harbor Island, a maximum of 97 million gallons of wastewater a day. Only a trifle. The aquifer mixed with Eagle Ford shale fracking chemicals, nearly Death Valley. But you, Corpus Christi, hand out millions of gallons of water with cash bonuses and tax exemptions to any willing multinational corporation to ransack and pollute these once fertile lands. Your pocket payoff for a war machine military madness and their toxic dumps, erecting statues, planes, and cemetery pit plots along with your ginormous cross on I-37, where you will white robe nail as much of the land with your AR-15 style accumulated blacks and Mexicans to those grotesque beams that greet the future and channel reek of sludge. Thank you. All right. Now I've got one more from this bit here that's going to go into the new book. This is called Sagebrush Plateau. Sagebrush Plateau, a belt snaps on you. Vortical, swirl, whirl, tornado, rip, chew, chomp, spew, sandy loam, red dirt, wood, anything. Arc path, tattoo, signature glyph on wold. Howl, moan, trackless, freight train, anywhere. Bite, collect, throw up, turn out, toss out. Swirl, vertical, whirl, tornado. Slap, punch, pulverize, puncture, pierce. What stands, what runs, what breathes, what's caught. Glyph, arc, signature, tattoo, path. Shred, shear, shave, shamble, roustabout. Lash, pelt, stomp, ricochet, smack. Whirl, swirl, vertical, tornado. Embedded, imprinted, inlaid, ingrained. Sage, brush, plateau. In your fears, in your mind, in your blood, in your bones. Thank you. This next one, I'm going to be moving on to my 2020 book of poems, Pearl. I think I'm doing okay on time. I'm going to start off with this poem. Yes, that's. I was lucky enough and fortunate to do some study abroad programs here from campus, and this one's from the 2017 study abroad in Scotland. With my good friend there, Pam Berard, who this poem is dedicated to. And in this, we were in Dalkeith House. Chuck Etheridge has been there and stayed there. And there was these stairs, these pike stairs, and it was just kind of difficult to get up and down them. Pam actually named them the Death Stairs. Death Stairs. Death Stairs at Dalkeith House, stone turnpike stairs. Servants rotating up or down for royalty, and now we walk worn and wobbly pavers, jutting from an axeless pole, cold to the soles. WC on another level, take the death stairs for the morning pee, to shower, brush your teeth, drams of fine Oban scotch, strong ale, that handrail semi-detached on one level, the next only loose hung rope, teeter on up or nearly fall down the haunted death stairs. A cavalier's aberration cold passes through your heart, another dram for strength before taking Dalkeith House death stairs. At the bottom were found a shiny pair of black wellies. Nobody claims to place them there. Wellington's boots came off his marble statue near the tartan stairs, transformed into black rubber boots to go up and down all night on the death stairs. Take your life in your hands each flight. Sober or not, the cold penetrates all each turnpike step of the death stairs. Thank you. Okay, one more from this book, Corpus Sunrise, for Corpus. Sun breaks through liquid horizon, magenta, orange ball of flame, simmers at a shimmering disk, ripple bay glass reflection, rises until liftoff, superimposes its own image upward. Thank you. I'm moving into my latest book, Snake Woman Moon, the Avebury Bride Cycle. This is about the Neolithical stone circles with many mounds in the surrounding vicinity that is 40 miles north of Stonehenge. I've traveled to Avebury thrice. In these poems, they convey the present experience and at times the experience of that ancient fertility culture built by women. I would like to dedicate the first poem to David, a man I met and is named in the poem. David is a teacher in Kiev. I hope he and his family are safe. Long stones. There's an epigraph here. Stones, unless stones have being, unless there's some profoundly mystical shift that places being in a stone. Don DeLilio, Point Omega, 73. We came from different directions. From Windmill Hill, Mike and David skirted the open field in a muddy track along the buckthorn tree line. I saw them both coming as I walked down narrow Nash Road, parallel to Beckhampton, onward to the Longstones, what's left of the tail grotto, now called Adam and Eve. Mike vaulted each step onto the open field. I stopped to read the UNESCO sign. David said, "He knows what he's doing. I don't understand it, but he knows." A side glance at David, pondering what David meant by his words. Rain clouds to the northwest. I went into the pasture towards the largest of the two sarsen stones. Mike stood there with L-shaped metal rods that he would explain were divinity rods. This one's female. He pointed to the broader stone on the plaque, identified as Adam. Through thick grass, we walked together to the more tapered, straight stone, shaped, hued as phallic. "The male stone?" I asked. He nods, indicating that I was correct, that these stones are mislabeled. These, the first stones I had touched in the Avebury area. Its rough surface patch covered with 3 different types of lichen, green, black, and gold, once part of the Beckhampton Avenue. Though I had been to rain-struck Kilmartin in Scotland weeks before, it had been a decade since being in Avebury, and never to this part of the goddess complex. We walked back and forth between the mammoth sarsens, dragged here thousands of years ago. We were on Windmill Hill before. We wanted to get there before the rain set in. I took out my folded homemade map from my hip pocket from my last time in Avebury, my route then marked. David unfolded a UK Ordnance Survey map of the area. The details surpassed my cobbled images. Quote, "Here's the trail we want," he said to Mike. He pointed due south. "We better get inside quickly." I asked them, "Do you mind if I join you?" "Sure, we're going to stop in this pub, the Wagon and Horses, for a pint and wait out that rain." A pint sounds good to me. Thank you. Builders. Discovered winter water, bursting outward, filled the streams. Dawn side camped on hillside, below cusp, out of wind. Pit holes dug for offerings. Mothers first built the burial chamber, precise length, height, and width. Floor of chalk, sarsen forecourt. Daughters watched night sky, plotted motion and reoccurrences, continual nights upon years. She charted the bride, diagram, cartography. Her steps traced river, retracing again from Swallowhead Spring to face moonrise. Ice stone below Longbarrow and ridge height. Holes dug, post sunk, roof thatched, springs parallel to the sanctuary energy. Hawthorn stave in hand, drawing circle, tip touched through soil. Grow no more inside the bounds. Energy here is sacred. Wood would not serve. Her brood around the fire told. Coition, gray weathers over a hill lay. Roiled overhewed poles, days upon years. Chosen sarsens to appoint points. Flint adze and deer chisels dug deep. Star-driven, snake woman, sacred linchpin. String strung, recreating sun cove width, dirt packed cone, goddesses larva entombed. Thank you. So this next poem is, it takes the point of view of one of the standing stones, West Kenneth Avenue. We stood as stone, unbudging, weathered, still sharp, ripped from the earth. dragged miles from her motherlode, propped up against her will, matched with a skinny stone, 20 feet apart for 5,000 years. Till stone killer Tom Robinson came, roped her mate, burned him alive. When she was young, they danced beside her, thrice around her, blessed with wreaths of hawthorn. Weeks pass, a blink of time, withering on her shoulders, the fall of nothing, but seasons passed, forgotten, until one day he came, in new form, himself dancing, touching, kissing my flanks, calling my name, long forgotten, warmer than the sun. His arms wrapped me, a moment too short, too late, then he was gone again to greet another down the avenue. Thank you. This next one is very interesting to me. The people of Avebury specifically dragged a large sarsen stone and plunked it in the Kenneth River for easier crossing. It was like you could cross onto that and then less time in the water and all. The stone has an interesting typography that has two pockets that have been dubbed the eye stone. Eye stone. Dragged over hill and plunged deep into Kenneth midstream, sunken into the path between sanctuary and the burial burrow. Many stepped upon you, eye stone, bare to the spheres in winter. Swallowhead, early spring wetness ripples your unblinking eyes. Refreshing quick currents summer's eve, and early August full moon, eye stone. Aldebaran and Deneb skyward, Pleiades sisters are sign of hope. Meander wet feet, green algae between my toes in torchlight home. The familiar friend, eye stone. Stand for night's brightening on you, my friend, well known eye stone of my forebearers. The moon waxes, progress of the pregnant goddess, new dirt mound built over threads. Goddess's baby grows. Next May night, I'll sister sit upon causeway stone chair before taking man into my womb. Wade with baby, Kenneth rushes to bathe on ice stone. All right, I've got two more poems. Is that okay? Do I have time for that?
I think, two will be good.
Okay, there.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, good. This one's called, I'm very much into the stars. I have been for a very long time, since I was about 17 years old. My wife and I, Susan, we traveled to Malta last summer, and we went to the Neolithic site, Hagar Kim, where they bored holes into the stone in the same configuration as the Pleiades. And then there was a thing online recently about a story about how humanity, the Pleiades in humanity, has been a story for over 200,000 years. Pleiades. Alcyon, acronicol, rising, behind Sol, twilight, vernal equinox, straight above, Samborn confluence, henge of the sun, wedding ring cove, observation site. From water we came, deep ditch moats, water wet brim. Sow now, later reap. Helical rising Pleiades, einkorn, Immer, Carassian, wave in solstice first light, over Totterdown and Harapath, our mothers' mothers set stone, dug banks, and impregnate Silbury. Great Ocarus Aldebaran, night sky oxen eye, mapped with great weather sarsens, mourn our dressing day, as we gravel towards gathering, Pleiades, mother of cerulean light. And this last one's short, Midfire. It's a little more glimpse into the fertility part of the culture. Fire around the stone circles cast leaping light on sarsen stones, on naked skin. Words flicker, lambent flames inside. Replenishment, fulfill, furrow, and reap. blazing arcs through night firmament Pleiades, intensifies burning passion, crackling flame. Wind carries sweet hawthorn's pungent reek. Earshot men's voices chant across the causeway, snake, woman, moon. Hear those beasts calling for your womb, ride their plows to reap. Riotous, naked women and men ignite the bonfire. Snake goddesses, burning fields, desire, combust. Thank you very much.
Tom, and again, if you are wanting to hear more and know more about the poets, you can come over here. We've got plenty of copies of their poems that are available to purchase, and you are supporting